Now, climate change activists spearheaded by the Debt for Climate movement have called for the cancellation of all debts owed by developing countries, including Uganda. The activists, who are calling on global financial institutions like the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund to act, say that the debt burden has incapacitated many countries, with much of their budgets going towards debt servicing, which hampers the delivery of essential services.
Climate-related disasters have displaced thousands and driven millions into poverty, with the hardest hit being low-income and developing countries. These disasters, largely driven by the activities of the Global North, have left the Global South exposed to the devastating consequences. Climate change activists say this is worsened by the added debt burden, which has further crippled these nations' ability to provide vital services to their populations.
If you look at the Global North, the rich countries, the G7 countries, that dominate global economies and that are very rich and wealthy, they are the same people telling us we should stop investing in fossil fuels. But when you look at Germany last year after the Russian-Ukraine crisis invasion, outbreak, Germany went ahead and started opening up extraction and fossil fuel activities in its coal mines.
Uganda cannot meet its climate targets with the massive foreign debt checking on her. And the next, we have the youngest population in the world, and we are the first generation in a century to face the worst impacts of climate change.
As the World Bank and IMF mark 80 years of existence, Debt for Climate activists are now calling for a rethink of global financial policies. They suggest debt cancellation as a way to help developing countries recover and adequately address their social and environmental challenges.
We are demanding for the immediate debt cancellation so as Uganda can invest in its future to protect its people. Uganda deserves to control its own resources for the benefit of our people, not to pay debts that are never for us. It's time to cancel the debt and reclaim our future.
These ridiculous debts are an obstacle for us to transition from fossil fuels and meet our climate obligations and targets, as in the 2015 Paris Agreement.
All this action goes to contribute to developing countries. It relieves us from the debt burden that we have inherited and that we are currently dealing with at the moment.
With COP29 around the corner, several climate change advocates are therefore calling for focus on how best to address the interests of the Global South, including debt relief, in order to strengthen their capacity to combat climate change and improve the lives of their people.